One of the very first questions I ask new buyers during our phone calls is, what is your budget? Now, that's not because I'm trying to sort out whether or not you are someone that can spend lots of money, but it is one of the biggest defining factors of where you can live in the North Metro Atlanta area. People will often call and say, I want a new construction home, top-rated schools, easy access to Target, and all of my favorite stores for under $400,000. Now, I hate to be the bearer of bad news and say, well, honestly, that's not really a possibility. You can't just list off all of your must-haves and expect to have tons of towns that will fit all of your criteria, even just the top 3 items or so. Sometimes when having these conversations, it's like people think I'm holding out information when they give me their list and I name the one town that will be the closest fit. I often hear, well, where else do you suggest? I can give you more suggestions if we can eliminate a must-have or 2. But if someone says their items are all non-negotiables, then they are going to be very limited to likely just one area. Hi, I'm Sarah Maslowski with Key Point Homes Group, a local real estate agent here in the North Metro Atlanta area, and I help people from all over the country and the world relocate right here to Georgia. If you're considering making a move here, one of the biggest things you need to know is where you can and can't afford to live. Let's start with North Georgia's golden child. Everyone hears how great Alpharetta is, and they decide that they want to be there. It's got great shopping, great schools, and a prime location. What it does not have though is affordable housing and very many new construction options. You simply cannot find a new construction single family home in Alpharetta for less than $500,000. It's not possible. In fact, if you pull all of the homes in Alpharetta that have closed within the last 6 months for less than $500,000, the newest home under $500,000 was built in 2011. There have been 87 homes to sell for under $500,000 in the last 6 months, with only 6 of them being built in the 21st century. Just to put that into perspective. If you just look at what is listed at this current moment, the newest was built in 1998. So I promise I'm not hiding these affordable new construction options from you. They just don't exist. Now, things are a bit of a different story when you consider townhomes instead of single family homes. But again, people are usually adamant that they don't want a townhome for various reasons. There are currently 27 townhouses listed for sale in Alpharetta for less than $500,000, with 20 of them being built after 2000. So this is one of the only ways you can get newer construction under $500,000 in Alpharetta. Now, Alpharetta's neighbor, Johns Creek, has a pretty crazy average sales price of $917,000 at the time of filming this video, which makes Alpharetta's average price point, $770,000, a little bit more palatable. If you want to be in Johns Creek but can't manage that price point, Duluth is a great option. It feeds right into Johns Creek and has an average sales price of $683,000, which is nearly $100,000 more affordable than Alpharetta. You are not going to find a ton of new construction options here either. However, there are some townhome options. Duluth is a really cool town. In fact, I'm planning on making a whole video about it next week. So make sure you're subscribed to my channel so you get notified when that video comes out. Now, say you want a new construction home under $500,000 and that is your top 2 criteria. You can check out Monroe and find tons of options here. Another big bonus to Monroe is that your options are likely on a big, nice sized lot, much bigger than you would ever have dreamed of finding in Alpharetta or other areas. Large lots and new construction are not something that typically go hand in hand unless you're looking in Monroe. Monroe also has a Target and several other stores and restaurants, so you're not totally in the middle of nowhere. But this is more of a rural area compared to other suburbs of Atlanta. The average sales price of a home here is $431,000, and that's pretty great. Comparatively though, you are not going to have all of the easy access and amenities and top ranked schools like you will have in Alpharetta. Given this speech a bunch about schools and their rankings many times, but if you're new here, a school ranking online is not the only metric you should use. When it comes to choosing a school district that you feel comfortable sending your kids to, I always recommend that you do your own research. School ratings online should not be your only metric for deciding if a school will be a good fit for your child. Call the school, talk to the guidance counselors, Visit, take a tour if you can, or join a local Facebook group in the area and ask for other parents' opinions. At the end of the day, you know what is best for your child, and of course, you want them to be in the best possible learning environment. But the online rankings are not the end-all, be-all of a good school. As a former teacher, I have worked in both highly ranked school districts and ones that did not rank nearly as high. But I have actually found that to be a better environment than the one that was higher ranked, and that was just my personal experience. Now, if you are looking for some new construction options under $500,000 while still being districted for a highly ranked school, Jefferson should be a place that you should check out. The average price point here in Jefferson is $486,000, and the elementary school, Jefferson Academy and Jefferson Middle School have an 8 out of 10 rating on greatschools.org, and Jefferson High School has a 9 rating. These are 3 huge qualifications and must-haves on many people's list, and this is just one of pretty much only few places where you can find all 3 of these. Now, if you are moving here to work in an area like Alpharetta or Johns Creek, living in Jefferson and working in those areas is going to be quite of a haul. It would be at least an hour commute, likely an hour and a half to get over to Alpharetta or into Atlanta. But that is why homes here are more affordable since it's further out of the way. You are, however, closer to Athens if that is where you are working. Another option where you can find new construction options in highly ranked school districts is the city of Cumming. It's not going to be nearly as affordable as Jefferson. The average sales price in Cumming is currently $642,000, but you are going to have a plethora of new construction options. I've made several videos about how insane the growth in Cumming has been. Now, not every single school in Cumming has an 8 or a 9 rating, so some areas might be more beneficial to you than others, but you do have more options than most other towns for highly ranked school districts. Now, 2 areas where your money really stretches far while still having great school rankings are Loganville and Grayson in Gwinnett County. We recently had some buyers purchase a beautiful home in Grayson, and while we were house hunting, I was quickly reminded of how much farther your money will take you and how much larger of a home you can buy in these 2 towns. Currently, the average sales price in Grayson is $448,000 and $442,000 in Loganville, and these are 2 of the few towns where you can say, I want a 5-bedroom home on a basement with a good sized lot and a great school for under $600,000. If you need a lot of square footage and are open to making some cosmetic updates, both of these towns are going to be great options for you. A lot of the homes here are older, but there are some very large new construction neighborhoods or neighborhoods that have been constructed within the past several years, which give you quite a few options. Most of the elementary, middle, and high schools here all have 8 ratings and up on greatschools.org. Grayson High School has an 8 rating on Great Schools, and there are parts of Loganville, Lawrenceville, and Grayson that are all districted to go here. Loganville High School also has an 8 rating. I also just made a video about Lawrenceville, so if this town is something that you're interested in, make sure you check out this video. Now, if you homeschool or don't have kids, or you're not hyper fixated on those school rankings, but yet you still want more amenities and shopping opportunities, there are some really great areas right in the middle of the road price-wise. Gainesville currently has an average sales price of $443,000, and it has got a charming downtown area and lots of big box stores for shopping. But there are also more rural parts of town, especially the further north that you go. You're going to find both new construction and resale options in Gainesville, and you also have Lake Lanier, which is obviously going to cost you a lot more than the $443,000 to live on, but this town is great if you want to have easy access to amenities without paying an arm and a leg. Now, Buford is also a great area. It does have one of the highest ranked schools in the entire state, but finding a house in this district is going to be a little bit more difficult and definitely more expensive than the average price point, which is $594,000. Now, just like Gainesville, Buford does have both new construction and resale options. You're going to find higher rated schools here and all the shopping you could need in Buford around the Mall of Georgia area. area. Plus, it is right off the interstate and it makes commuting down to Atlanta a little bit more manageable than some of the other towns. Cumming has been really highly desired here lately, but I personally think that if you are drawn to Cumming, you should also check out Buford. Buford is more developed and will have fewer new construction options, but to me, it feels a little bit more accessible than Cumming. But if you are interested in one of these towns, you should also definitely check out the other. They are both located on the south end of Lake Lanier, which means you have access to the water while being much closer to the city and other amenities than if you were further up north on the lake. If you take a look at this map, you can see how the average price point varies based on location. There are pockets of really expensive towns just northeast of Atlanta, and farther east tends to be much more affordable. You'll see that the areas right off of 85 and 985 have a tendency to be more expensive because of their easier, more direct access to the city and other metro areas. The farther north you get is usually more affordable unless you're looking right on the lake. Clear as mud, right? Now, jokes aside, location has a huge factor with pricing, so the reverse of that is the same too. What you can afford dictates where you can live, and where you live is going to dictate what access to amenities you have. So what do you think? Are you more drawn to the areas with more amenities and higher price tags, or are you willing to do a bit more driving for a more affordable cost of living? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you click the link to sign up for our newsletter to stay up to date on all things happening here in North Georgia. And if you're interested in buying a home in any of these towns, I would love to be your real estate agent. You can find my contact information directly below this video. Check out this playlist of videos to learn more about all of these great towns.